Hello there, fellow coin enthusiasts and collectors. Welcome back to the channel World Rare Coins, where we dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins that could be worth a small fortune. From hidden gems that could be worth a fortune to little-known coins with a rich history, we'll explore it all. And if you're new to our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on any of our exciting discoveries. And now grab your magnifying glasses and let's start our today's video. On top one today, we're going to talk about the United States 1962 quarter dollar, a coin that may look like just another classic Washington quarter at first glance, but trust me, it has much more to offer than meets the eye. You won't believe the hidden value behind this 1962 coin. Stick around, because at the end of this video, we'll reveal how much this quarter could actually be worth today, and it's a number that will leave you speechless. Let's rewind the clock a bit to 1962. The world was a very different place. The US was in the midst of the space race, with NASA gearing up for its first successful orbital mission. The Cuban Missile Crisis was a fresh memory, and the economy was in a transitional phase. In the world of coinage, the Washington quarter was the go-to design, first minted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. In 1962, the design had become a staple of American currency. On the obverse front, we see George Washington in profile, gazing to the left, with the word "Liberty" above and "In God We Trust" to the right. Below Washington's portrait is the year 1962, marking the coin's place in history. On the reverse back, the design features a majestic eagle perched atop a bundle of arrows, with an olive branch in its talon, symbolizing peace and strength. The coin also carries the inscription "United States of America" and the famous motto "E pluribus unum," which translates to "out of many, one." It's a beautiful design, and one that has withstood the test of time. But here's the thing. While most of the 1962 quarters are still out there in circulation, some of them carry hidden treasures that can turn an ordinary quarter into something worth way more than its 25-cent face value. You might be thinking, isn't a 1962 quarter just a regular old coin? Well, yes and no. There's a very good reason why the 1962 Washington quarter is one of those rare finds that can actually be worth tens of thousands of dollars. And it all comes down to rarity, condition, and minting errors. During the 1960s, the U.S. Mint was producing a significant number of quarters each year, but not all of them were perfect. Some coins were struck with errors or had unique features that set them apart from the rest. These mistakes, or varieties, are highly prized by collectors because they make the coin stand out as a one-of-a-kind piece of history. And it's not just about errors. Coins that are in excellent condition, especially those that have been kept in pristine, uncirculated state, are also incredibly valuable. Now that we know a little about the 1962 quarter dollar, let's talk about what specifically makes it so valuable. Here are the minting errors and rare variants that can turn an ordinary 1962 quarter into a collector's dream. Double die errors. A double die error happens when a coin is struck twice by the same die, resulting in a doubling effect on the design. If you have a 1962 quarter where the date or lettering looks doubled, whether it's the word "Liberty" or "In God We Trust," you could have a double die error on your hands. These coins are worth much more than their face value due to their rarity and the clear, doubled features. Off-center strikes. Sometimes, during the minting process, the blank coin isn't properly aligned in the press, leading to a misaligned design. The result is an off-center coin, where part of the design is missing from one side. These coins are highly sought after by collectors because of their rarity. The more misaligned the strike, the more valuable the coin can become. Clash dies. Clash die errors occur when two coin dies unintentionally collide, leaving behind impressions from one side of the coin onto the other. If you spot a 1962 quarter with a design overlap, where the reverse eagle design appears faintly on the obverse side or vice versa, you may have found a clash die error. Die cracks and cuds. Over time, the coin dies used by the U.S. Mint can develop cracks or cuds, raised areas where metal has filled in the crack. These imperfections often appear on the coin, and although they may seem like flaws, they are actually valuable because they make the coin unique. Collectors love these subtle details, and they can add significant value to the 1962 quarter. Uncirculated coins. A 1962 quarter that has never been used in circulation, meaning it has been stored in pristine condition, is one of the most valuable types of coins out there. Coins that are mint state or proof coins. coins that were struck for collectors can fetch a much higher price than coins that have been worn down by daily USE.SO. How do you know if your 1962 quarter could be one of these rare, valuable finds? Here's how to spot a potential treasure. Look for doubling. Examine the date and lettering on the coin for any signs of doubling. If you see a noticeable shift in the design, you might have a double die error. Check the alignment. Hold the coin up to the light and see if the design is misaligned. If part of the image is cut off or shifted, you may have an off-center strike. Examine the edges. Look at the edges of the coin for any signs of a clash die error or die cracks. These features are often faint, so be sure to inspect both sides of the coin carefully. Evaluate the condition. If the coin looks like it's in perfect condition, no visible wear or scratches, you may have a coin in mint state. These coins are highly sought after by collectors and can be worth significantly more than their face value. Alright, drumroll please. It's time for the big reveal. How much could your 1962 quarter dollar actually be worth? Well, depending on the minting errors, condition, and rarity, a 1962 quarter can be worth far more than just 25 cents. If you happen to have a double die error, off-center strike, or an uncirculated coin in perfect condition, you could be holding on to something incredibly valuable. In fact, a well-preserved 1962 quarter with a rare minting error or an uncirculated condition can fetch up to an astounding $70,000. Yes, you heard that right, $70,000 for a single 1962 quarter. It's incredible how something as simple as a quarter can hold so much value, and you could be the lucky one to have it. So, there you have it, folks. The 1962 quarter dollar could be worth $70,000 if you have the right minting error or if it's in mint condition. It's amazing to think that a small, everyday coin could hold so much potential. On top 2, we're diving into a coin that you may have seen hundreds of times, but probably never gave much thought to. That's right, we're talking about the United States 1979 quarter dollar. On the surface, this coin might look just like any other regular Washington quarter, but trust me, there's more to it than meets the eye. If you think this quarter is only worth 25 cents, think again. Some of these coins can fetch unbelievable amounts of money. So, stick with me until the end of the video, and I'll reveal just how much the 1979 quarter could actually be worth today. Spoiler alert, it's not just pocket change. Let's rewind the clock a bit to 1979. It was a time of change in the United States. The Carter administration was in the White House, the Soviet Union was on the rise, and the country was feeling the effects of the oil crisis and rising inflation. But in the world of coinage, one thing remained constant. The Washington quarter was still circulating as part of America's currency. The Washington quarter, which had been minted since 1932 to honor the first president, George Washington, had undergone few changes in its design over the decades. And by 1979, it was a well-established piece of American currency. The design features George Washington on the obverse, front, and the familiar American bald eagle on the reverse, back. On the obverse, you'll find George Washington's profile, facing left, with the words, "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date, 1979, above him. On the reverse, there's a majestic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, with an olive branch in its talon, symbolizing peace. Surrounding the eagle are the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum, which translates to out of many one. It's a timeless design, and while many 1979 quarters have circulated in the years since, some of these coins carry hidden value that many collectors would love to get their hands on. You're probably asking, what makes a 1979 quarter worth more than just 25 cents? Well, there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. Like many coins from the late 20th century, the 1979 quarter can have rare minting errors or be in pristine condition, which can significantly increase its value. The 1979 Washington quarter was minted in huge quantities, so they aren't exactly rare in a general sense. However, a select few of these coins were struck with unique features, making them highly sought after by collectors. Here's what could make your 1979 quarter stand out from the rest. When it comes to the 1979 quarter, certain minting errors and rare features can dramatically increase its value. Here are the most important things to look out for: double die errors. This is one of the most common and valuable types of minting errors. A double die error occurs when the coin is struck twice by the same die, resulting in a design that appears to be doubled in some areas. For the 1979 quarter, Look closely at the date and lettering. If you notice that the numbers or words seem blurry or slightly shifted, you may have found a double die error. These coins can be worth significantly more than a regular quarter, and some have even sold for thousands of dollars at auction. Off-center strikes. During the minting process, sometimes the coins aren't perfectly aligned in the machine, leading to a misaligned design. If you have a 1979 quarter where the design seems off-center, with part of the coin's design missing or cut off, this is a rare minting error called an off-center strike. Off-center quarters are highly collectible, and their value depends on how far off-center the strike is. The more misaligned the coin, the higher the value. Clash dies. Another interesting minting error to look for is the clash die. A clash die error happens when the coin dies collide without a coin being between them. The result is a faint impression of the reverse design appearing on the obverse, or vice versa. If your 1979 quarter has overlapping or faint details from the opposite side, it could be a clash die coin, and collectors will pay top dollar for this kind of unique error. Mint state coins. While minting errors can increase the value of a coin, even a flawless, uncirculated 1979 quarter can be worth more than you might think. Uncirculated coins. Those that have never been used in circulation and have stayed in near-perfect condition are highly desirable. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. If you have a mint state 1979 quarter with sharp details and no visible wear, you're in luck. These coins can command a much higher price than those that show signs of age or circulation. Proof coins. Proof coins are specially struck for collectors and are often minted in much lower numbers. If your 1979 quarter is a proof coin, it was made with higher quality dies and typically features a sharper, mirror-like finish. These coins are more valuable than their regular counterparts and are typically sold in sets. So, how can you tell if your 1979 quarter is worth more than just a pocketful of change? Here are some tips to help you identify valuable 1979 quarters. Examine the date and lettering. Carefully inspect the date and other inscriptions on the coin. Look for any signs of doubling. If the date looks blurry or duplicated, you could have a double die error coin. Check the alignment. Hold the quarter up to the light and tilt it at different angles. If the design seems misaligned or off-center, you might have an off-center strike coin. The more noticeable the misalignment, the more valuable it is. Look for die cracks or cuds. Examine the edges of the coin for any unusual cracks or raised areas, called cuds. These imperfections can add to the rarity and value of the coin. Evaluate the condition. A coin that's in mint state, meaning it has no visible wear or scratches, is worth more. Check the coin for any signs of wear and tear. If it looks fresh and shiny, it might just be worth a small fortune. Alright, I know you've been waiting for this moment. How much could your 1979 quarter be worth? If you have a rare minting error, like a double die error, an off-center strike, or a clash die error, or if the coin is in mint state or proof condition, then your 1979 quarter could be worth a lot more than 25 cents. Ready for the big reveal? A 1979 quarter with the right features or in pristine condition could be worth up to an astonishing $66,000. Yes, you heard that right, $66,000 for a single 1979 quarter. It's amazing to think that a coin you might have lying around in your pocket could have so much value. It just goes to show that rare coins can turn up in the most unexpected places. So, there you have it. Your 1979 quarter dollar could be worth $66,000 if it has the right minting errors or is in perfect condition. It's incredible how these small pieces of currency can hold such huge value. And now you know how to spot them. On top 3, we're talking about a coin that may seem pretty ordinary at first glance. But trust me, there's more to it than meets the eye. Yep, you guessed it. We're diving into the United States 1990 quarter dollar. Most people wouldn't think twice about a 1990 quarter. It's been around for decades, and many of them are still in circulation today. But the truth is, some of these coins can be worth much more than their 25-cent face value, especially if you know what to look for. So, stay tuned, because by the end of this video, I'll reveal just how much your 1990 quarter could be worth today. Trust me, you won't believe it. Let's take a quick trip back to 1990, an era of cultural change, innovation, and political shifts in the United States. It was a time when George H.W. Bush was in office, the Cold War was winding down, and the world was gearing up for the rise of the internet. But in the world of U.S. coinage, the Washington quarter was still a staple of everyday life. The Washington quarter had been in circulation for decades by this point, first issued in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1990, the design had been in use for almost 60 years, and it showed no signs of changing. The coin features George Washington's portrait on the obverse front, with the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the year 1990 inscribed on the coin. On the reverse back, you'll see the iconic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows, with an olive branch in its talon, surrounded by the words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum. It's a design that's both familiar and timeless, but it's not just the design that matters. There are certain rare versions of the 1990 quarter that can fetch significant sums of money. You may be wondering, why is the 1990 quarter so special? After all, these coins were made in the millions and are still fairly easy to find. Well, here's the thing. While many of the 1990 quarters out there are common, a few rare coins have emerged due to minting errors or unique characteristics that make them highly sought after by collectors. Here's what can make your 1990 quarter stand out from the rest and skyrocket in value. Some 1990 quarters were struck with minting errors or even special features that make them extraordinarily rare. Let's take a look at the different types of minting errors and rare variants you should keep an eye out for. Double die errors. A double die error happens when a coin is struck twice by the same die, causing the design to appear doubled in certain areas. This can happen to the date, the lettering, or even the portrait of George Washington. If your 1990 quarter shows any signs of doubling, especially on the Liberty or In God We Trust, you could have a double die error coin on your hands. These are extremely valuable to collectors, as double die errors are relatively rare, and the more prominent the doubling, the higher the value. Off-center strikes. Another minting error that can increase the value of a 1990 quarter is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned in the press, resulting in part of the design being cut off or shifted. If you have a 1990 quarter where the eagle or the date is misaligned or cropped, it could be worth a lot more than 25 cents. Off-center coins are collectible because they are considered one-of-a-kind errors. Clash dies. Clash die errors are another type of rare minting defect that can make your 1990 quarter extremely valuable. A clash die error occurs when the obverse die, the one with Washington's portrait, and the reverse die, the one with the eagle, collide without a coin between them. This can leave faint images from one side of the coin appearing on the other side. If you have a 1990 quarter with a faint eagle design appearing on the obverse, or vice versa, you could have a clash die error, which is highly collectible and valuable. Die cracks or cuds. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can develop cracks or chips, which can lead to die cracks or cuds on the coin. Die cracks occur when the die develops a crack, and cuds are raised, malformed areas where the die is damaged. These flaws may seem like imperfections, but in the world of coin collecting, they can actually make the coin more desirable and increase its value, especially if the crack or cut is noticeable. Uncirculated and proof coins. If you happen to have a 1990 quarter that has been carefully preserved in uncirculated condition, or if you own a proof coin from that year, you could have a valuable coin on your hands. Uncirculated coins are those that have never been used in circulation, and they tend to have sharp details and minimal wear. Proof coins, on the other hand, are specially minted for collectors with higher quality dies, resulting in a polished, mirror-like finish. These coins are typically sold in limited quantities, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for them. So, how do you identify a valuable 1990 quarter in your collection or change jar? Here's a step-by-step guide to spotting a rare, valuable coin. Check for doubling. Look at the date and lettering carefully. If you notice any doubling, especially in the word Liberty or In God We Trust, you may have a double die error coin. The doubling should be obvious, with the design seeming to overlap in some places. Examine the alignment. Hold the coin up to the light and check if the design is misaligned. An off-center strike will make part of the design appear cut off or shifted. The more severe the misalignment, the more valuable the coin could be. Look for clash dies. Inspect both sides of the coin carefully for any signs of a clash die. If you see faint or overlapping designs, especially from the opposite side of the coin, you might have a clash die error on your hands. Inspect the coin for cracks or cuds. Take a magnifying glass and look closely at the edges of the coin. Look for any cracks or raised areas, called cuds. These subtle features can add significant value to the coin. Check the coin's condition. If the coin looks perfectly preserved with sharp, crisp details, you could be looking at an uncirculated or proof coin, both of which are highly sought after by collectors. All right, the moment you've been waiting for. How much could your 1990 quarter be worth? Well, the value of a 1990 quarter depends on several factors like condition, rarity, and minting errors. But if you have a double die error, a clash die, or an uncirculated coin in mint condition, you could be sitting on a real treasure. Ready for the big reveal? A 1990 quarter with rare features or in pristine condition could be worth $58,000. Yes, you heard that right, $58,000 for a single quarter. It's amazing how a small coin can hold such tremendous value. And you could be the lucky one to find it, so there you have it. The 1990 quarter dollar could be worth a jaw-dropping $58,000 if it has the right errors or is in pristine condition. So, the next time you dig through your change, make sure to give your quarters a closer look. You never know what hidden gems you might find. On top 4, we are talking about the United States quarter dollar from 1993. At first glance, it might seem like just another run-of-the-mill quarter. But hold on to your seats, because there's much more to this coin than you might think. You'll be surprised to find out just how valuable a 1993 quarter could be in the world of coin collecting. Stick with us, because by the end of this video, I'll reveal the jaw-dropping amount this coin could be worth today. Before we dive into the details of why this coin is so special, let's take a moment to understand the historical context of the 1993 quarter. This particular year marked an important period in U.S. coinage. The design on the Washington quarter, featuring George Washington's portrait on the obverse, front, side, had been in circulation for decades by this point. The reverse side continued to feature the eagle, symbolizing strength and freedom. In 1993, there was no major overhaul of the design. This was still the same familiar Washington quarter that had been in use since 1932, first issued to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. At the time, the United States was experiencing significant political and economic events. Bill Clinton had just taken office as the 42nd President of the United States, and the country was navigating its way through a rapidly changing world. The Cold War was officially over, and technology was advancing quickly, bringing about changes in nearly every industry, including the world of coin collecting. But here's where things get interesting. While the 1993 quarter may have been produced in large numbers, there are certain rare variants and minting errors that have made some of these coins incredibly valuable today. So, what makes a 1993 quarter worth more than just 25 cents? The answer lies in a couple of key factors: rarity, condition, and minting errors. You see, while the quarter was widely circulated, some of these coins were struck with imperfections, and others simply survived the test of time in exceptional condition. These factors are what make them valuable to collectors. Let's break down what you should be looking for. Double die error. One of the most coveted errors in coin collecting is the double die error. This happens when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, resulting in doubled images on certain parts of the coin. If your 1993 quarter shows doubling in the date or on the wording like Liberty or In God We Trust, it could be a double die error, which increases its value dramatically. Double die errors are rare and highly sought after by collectors, so if you find one, you could be looking at a real treasure. Off-center strikes. Another common minting error that could increase the value of your 1993 quarter is an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin is not properly aligned when it's struck, causing the design to be shifted. An off-center quarter might have part of the design cut off, or it could be positioned unevenly. These off-center strikes are considered collectible because they are unique and represent a flaw in the minting process. Clash dies. Clash dies occur when the obverse die, the one with Washington's portrait, and the reverse die, the one with the eagle, come into contact without a coin between them. This can leave faint images from the other side of the coin visible on the opposite side. If you find a 1993 quarter with faint marks or overlapping images of the eagle on George Washington's portrait, you could have a clash die error, which is a prized find among coin collectors, die cracks or cuds. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can develop cracks or chips, leading to die cracks or cuds on the coin. These are imperfections, but they're often highly valued by collectors, as they are signs of the die's wear and age. If you spot a crack or raised area on the edge or surface of your 1993 quarter, it could be a die crack or cud, and these coins are often more valuable than those without any imperfections. Uncirculated or proof coins. Now, not all 1993 quarters are valuable because of minting errors. If you have a proof or uncirculated coin, that alone could boost its value. Proof coins are specially made for collectors and have a shiny, mirror-like finish. They are struck multiple times to ensure a flawless design. Uncirculated coins, on the other hand, have never been in circulation, which means they've never experienced wear and tear. These coins are much rarer than circulated coins, and they are in high demand. Now that you know the different types of errors and features that can make your 1993 quarter valuable, let's go over how to spot a rare one. Here's what you should do. Examine the date and lettering. Check the date and wording on the coin. Look for any signs of doubling. This is especially important around the word liberty and in God we trust. If you notice that these letters appear doubled, you could have a double die error. Look for misalignments. Hold the coin up to the light and tilt it to see if the design is misaligned. An off-center strike will leave part of the design off the coin, creating a unique, shifted appearance. Inspect both sides for clash dies. Look closely at both sides of the coin, especially around the edges. If you see any faint or overlapping eagle marks on George Washington's portrait, that's a clear sign of a clash die error. Check for cracks or cuts. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the edges and surface of the coin for any cracks or cuts. These die-related defects can add significant value to the coin. Condition is key. Finally, consider the condition of your quarter. If it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could have a valuable coin, even without any errors. Proof coins are also worth a premium. So if you have one of those, it's worth a closer look. So, here's the big question. How much could your 1993 quarter be worth? Well, the value of a quarter depends on its condition, any minting errors, and whether it's a proof or uncirculated coin. For a 1993 quarter with rare minting errors or in pristine condition, the value can be much higher than you'd expect. If you have a double die error, an off-center strike, or a clash die error, you could be looking at a substantial premium for your coin. The 1993 quarter dollar could be worth an impressive $55,000. Yes, you heard that right, $55,000 for a single 1993 quarter. So, the next time you come across a quarter from 1993, give it a close inspection. You might be holding onto a small fortune without even realizing it. There you have it. The 1993 quarter dollar is much more than just pocket change. If you're lucky enough to have a rare variant or minting error, you could be sitting on a gold mine. So, make sure to check your quarters carefully, especially the ones from 1993. Who knows? You might just have a $55,000 coin waiting for you. On Top 5, we're going to talk about a coin that you may have in your change jar right now. A coin that could be worth far more than you think. That's right. I'm talking about the United States quarter dollar from 1998. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter. But wait, this coin has a secret that could make it worth a small fortune. Stick around because by the end of this video, I'll be revealing the jaw-dropping price tag that a 1998 quarter can fetch if you happen to have a rare one. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's dive into the fascinating world of the 1998 quarter and how you can turn your pocket change into something worth thousands. Let's first take a step back and understand a little about the history of the 1998 quarter. The Washington quarter, which features George Washington's iconic portrait on the obverse, front, side, had been in circulation for decades by 1998. In fact, this was part of the long-running series that began in 1932, designed to honor the first president of the United States. In 1998, the Washington Quarter was part of the State Quarters program, a series that ran from 1999 to 2008 and featured unique designs on the reverse side of the quarter, highlighting the individual states of the Union. But while the state quarters were just around the corner, the 1998 quarter still stuck with the classic design. Washington's portrait on the front and an eagle on the back. This coin was produced in massive numbers. Around 1.4 billion of these quarters were minted that year. But, like many coins, there were certain minting errors and rarities that make some 1998 quarters significantly more valuable than others. So, what makes a 1998 quarter dollar so special? You might be wondering, what's the big deal about a quarter from 1998? Well, the value of the 1998 quarter lies in its rarity, condition, and the presence of any minting errors. Although many were produced, certain errors and variations have made some of these coins worth much more than face value. Let's break down what you need to look out for. Double die errors. One of the most prized errors in coin collecting is the double die error. This happens when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, leading to a doubling effect on the design. For a 1998 quarter, you should check closely for doubling in key areas like the date or wording like Liberty or In God We Trust. If you spot any doubling on the coin, you could be holding a rare double die error, which significantly increases its value. Off-center strikes. Another minting error that can make a 1998 quarter valuable is an off-center strike. This occurs when the blank coin planchet isn't perfectly aligned with the dies when it's struck. This results in a misaligned design. Coins with off-center strikes can be dramatic, with parts of the design missing from the edges, and collectors often pay a premium for these unique variations. Clash dies. Clash die errors happen when the obverse and reverse dies come into contact without a blank coin between them. This leaves faint, overlapping images on both sides of the coin. If you notice faint marks or impressions from the other side of the coin, like part of the eagle on Washington's portrait, that's a clash die error, and it can make your 1998 quarter much more valuable. Die cracks or cuds. Over time, the dies used to strike coins can develop cracks or chips, which result in die cracks or cuds. These imperfections are actually highly desirable to collectors, as they are considered part of the coin's unique history. If you spot any cracks or raised areas around the edge or surface of your 1998 quarter, you might be holding onto a coin that's worth more than face value. Proof coins and uncirculated coins. Not all rare 1998 quarters come with minting errors. Proof coins, which are specially made for collectors, have a higher quality finish and are usually struck multiple times for extra detail. Similarly, uncirculated coins have never been in circulation and are in pristine condition. These coins can be more valuable simply because they've been well preserved. Now that you know the types of minting errors and features that can make your 1998 quarter more valuable, let's talk about how you can identify a rare one in your collection. Examine the date and lettering. Check the date and wording on the coin carefully. Look for doubling, especially around the word Liberty or the date itself. If the text appears thicker or offset, you could have a double die error. Look for misalignment. Hold your coin under good lighting and tilt it slightly to see if the design is misaligned. If the design is shifted to one side or part of it is cut off, you might have an off-center strike. Inspect both sides for clash dies. Turn the coin over and closely examine both sides. If you notice faint impressions or overlapping details from the other side, for example, part of the eagle visible on Washington's portrait, you could have a clash die error. Check for cracks or cuds. Using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, carefully inspect the edges and surface for any cracks or cuds. These are die-related defects that can make your coin more valuable to collectors. Evaluate the condition. Finally, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in its value. Coins that have been well preserved, uncirculated, or proof coins are typically worth more. If your 1998 quarter is in mint condition and hasn't been worn down through circulation, it could be a highly valuable find. So, you've examined your 1998 quarters and found one with a rare minting error or perhaps a pristine proof coin. How much could it be worth? The value of a 1998 quarter can vary depending on its rarity, condition, and minting errors. While a regular quarter in typical condition is worth just 25 cents, a rare 1998 quarter, particularly one with a double die error, off-center strike, or clash die error, can be worth thousands of dollars. For a 1998 quarter with minting errors or in exceptional condition, the value can reach up to $50,000. Yes, you heard that right, $50,000 for a single 1998 quarter. So, next time you go through your spare change, remember that there's a chance you might be holding on to a small fortune. There you have it. The 1998 quarter dollar may look like just another coin, but in reality, it could be a rare treasure that's worth tens of thousands of dollars. Whether it's a double die error, an off-center strike, or a proof coin in pristine condition, there's a lot to be excited about when it comes to collecting 1998 quarters. So, before you toss those coins back into your change jar, take a moment to inspect them closely. You never know. You might just have a $50,000 quarter on your hands. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our future coin discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.